Alright, back again for part 2. These are just took them out of the tumbler. This is what they look like before. These are all from some of the same batch. So, definitely a difference there. Happy with that. They're shinier. They look a little better off camera actually. But more than anything, they're clean now. So cleaner to mess with than these. But anyhow, and so we will size or check them. The maximum length for a 223 is 1.760. I got this caliper set on 1.7595. Super close. So if they fit in here, then they'll pass. So I expect all these to pass because I've trimmed them right before I shot them the last time, and usually you'll have to shoot them 2 or 3 times before they need trimmed. So I expect all these to pass. If that's the case, then maybe I'll do a separate video on just case trimming some 223s at some time. But I figure it's looking like we're going to get to skip that process this time, which is kind of nice because that's a little bit of a pain in the butt. Something right there. Oh man, it passed pretty close. It was right on the money. Which, you'll remember, I got it actually set a little below the max length. So, alright, they passed. Turning the calipers off. Alright. The next step then will be to resize these. And going to be using the Hornady Unique case lube. You just rub some of that on your finger and rub it on the cartridge. It doesn't take but a tiny little bit on there to do what you need it to do. And normally I will lube up several. And then resize. So there's, I don't know, 10 or so. Get my dies back out. The decapping pin is still in there. I'm just going to leave it. We will not be doing any decapping at this time because they're already out. That's it. It's in there. Right on the money. Stick it back in the shell holder and go up with it. Not much to it. Doesn't take very much effort because it's got the lube on it, but it is more effort than decapping, depriming. And if you ever don't put lube on them, then you will notice a difference. The lube really helps a lot. So just one at a time. They're going great, and actually they're resizing a little easier than they did last time because I've already sized them once myself. I can tell it's not taking as much effort this time. I do like this lube better. It's clear. I've used the Lee case lube that come in my kit, my Lee kit, and it's white. Looks like lotion, and it just looks messy and it dries white. So you pretty much have to you got to get that off. And sometimes I tumble my cases again just to get the lube off of them. Just a few more. I'm telling you, it just takes a tiny little thin layer of this case lube. Done with that for now. Let's resize the rest of these. It's just like before with the decapping pin. To resize these, you'll put your shell holder in, run it all the way up, and then screw down your die until it just, I don't like it to touch at all, but I'll let it touch and then back it out these tiniest little bit that I can. And then that's it. It'll, because you want to push that casing all the way up in there. Because this is a full length resizing die, and so you're resizing that whole piece of brass. The next step, which is probably the most fun, I guess, all this is still case prep, but the next step is new primers, gunpowder, and bullets, which is the funnest. And oddly enough, it's the quickest. You know, you first get into, or you think about reloading, you think, oh man, you take spent cartridges, you load them back up. Actually, and you do, but you spend more time on case prep, getting them ready to be reloaded back up, than you do on actually putting the new components in there. But that's it. Just one more, and we're done with this step. So now these have been deprimed, cleaned, measured, and resized. So the next video will be finishing them up, loading them up with goodies, and making them ready to shoot again. Alright, stay tuned for part 3. Thanks a lot.